So let's dive into the product. Let's dive into Heidi. Does Heidi allow clinicians to go in and make edits to their note or their records prior to finalizing it?
Absolutely. So look, I think, Heidi's notes are essentially generated from a transcript of a conversation, perhaps between the clinician and a patient, or perhaps just the clinician presenting to Heidi. But naturally, AI can make mistakes. And sometimes the note that comes out the other side actually does have an error or two in it. So we obviously give clinicians the power to make any changes they see fit to that note before it's moved across into the electronic medical record. We also have sort of labels and warnings within the product itself, just to remind clinicians that, look, AI can sometimes make mistakes, and it's imperative to read through and check the note before it's moved across into a permanent store like an electronic medical record. Additionally, you can create all sorts of downstream documents in Heidi, so maybe a referral letter or a patient explainer, and if there's an error in the transcript that's carried over into the note, you don't want that to be carried over into every single piece of documentation you create. And so essentially the way we've designed Heidi is that if the clinician makes those changes and edits to the main note, those corrections will be carried over to all of those documents that are created downstream.
Yeah. So nothing Heidi creates on its own is final.
Absolutely not, no. And in fact, I would say that wouldn't be a disaster if that was the case. But remember, we're just meant to be an assistant. And much like a resident in a clinical environment, it's always imperative that they check that their management plan that they've created, or their assessment or their examination, is actually accurate before executing on it. So we're really just trying to reinforce the fact that, yes, we've taken care of the dirty work, we've written out your note for you, but it's still on you to make sure that everything that is in that note is an accurate representation of what was said during that session, or what's been communicated with Heidi.